Earnings season winding down for the third quarter. Several major retailers reporting their numbers today, including Macy's, Kohl's, and Nordstrom. Kevin Kelly with us this morning. What are you expecting ahead of the holidays? You know, it's a very, very competitive and tough environment. We are seeing foot traffic in malls are really down, and it hasn't hurt, and we've seen margin compression for all these. So we're going to look to the guidance and see what these companies say going forward on that basis. How are they competing in the e-commerce platform? Because think about this. Amazon is now the world's largest retailer. So we need to focus on what they're going to say to combat these threats. They've had a good year to date, but over the in regards to returns, because they were so heavily beaten last year. But it is really bad right now. Yeah, oftentimes, though, this stuff feeds on itself. I mean, if you have a sentiment like we are looking at in the markets, that things will improve, and we start seeing a market rally, if this does continue, that makes people feel richer, right? Yeah, and that makes people spend more money. And wages. And that it's a cycle. It is a cycle, and we've seen them. So if we go to Macy's, this is the 7th consecutive quarter where their top line and bottom line are down. So they have easy comparables to beat now. So you're talking about the sentiment. If they do start to get more foot traffic, if people do start to spend more, wages are up, they can easily beat those comps, and it could do really well for the stock. So that's why we're focused on the guidance and what management say. So don't focus on the past. Listen to what they're going to guide to. I can take Amazon and make it about the president-elect Trump, because, again, there's been some back and forth between Donald Trump and Jeff Bezos. Donald Trump has said that Amazon has an antitrust problem, potentially. Ooh, you're right. And Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, where they aggressively went after Donald Trump and investigated him. So there's certainly personal strain there, and whether it's just rhetoric or not remains to be seen. But Donald Trump has not hesitated in calling out major American companies by name, whether including Macy's, Apple, or Ford. Right, Macy's stopped selling its stuff. Right, and then Amazon. So what kind of president are we going to get in terms of the rhetoric that he uses? I think it's just a fascinating part of the discussion. Nobody knows. I think there's but getting to that point, I think there's a difference between candidate Trump and President Trump, and especially when he puts his Council of Economic Advisors together and you start to see the cabinet fill out. I think there will be a significant difference that will not weigh on the marketplace, and you're seeing that reverberate in the stock market. What about markets right now? Global markets rebounding again, Kevin. Would you buy into this? Oh, by the way, we should point out that the yield on the 10-year, we got some viewers on Twitter asking us to show them interest rates. Highest rate since January. Correct. Above 2%. And this is leading into the credence that inflation will start to tick up, because these fiscal policies will actually move the market, actually significant growth. You look at the Penn-Wharton model that came out. It was nonpartisan. They said Donald Trump's policies will add 1.1% on top of the current GDP we're having. That is very significant. That'll lead to inflation. That's why you're seeing interest rates tick up. This is a good thing happening, because that's going to help the Fed meet their targets. By the way, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I will. Yesterday, when the markets were down 400 points, listen to how we took a look at markets and my little prediction for the rest of the day yesterday. I would not be fooled by this huge sell-off that we're seeing, because I feel like when you actually look at the plan, if he's able to lower corporate taxes to 15%, if he's able to roll back regulations, he's got Congress, replace Obamacare, you have to believe that's going to be a huge boom for corporations for their earnings. That's going to send the stock market higher. Yesterday, yes. And the night before, we just need to point out that actually on Fox News, you were there, I think it was 8 or 9 o'clock at night, saying, listen, that the Dow was down. I called it a buying opportunity, which is, I was very excited. Which Brett Baer on Special Report used that soundbite last night as a reminder to people of why you need to be watching the Fox Business Network every day, starting at 5 a.m. and running all day long, way into the evening. Make no mistake about it, Donald Trump's policies are going to spur entrepreneurship, innovation, productivity, good for the markets. That's why the 10-year Treasuries are up. Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll take a yields up. We'll take a short break on that. And Donald Trump's economy is what we're looking at next. How his business acumen could translate into success in the White House. Plus, more woes for GoPro to tell you about. Problems with the company's drone ground expectations going into the holiday season. Back in a minute.